From Anshe Sfard Bethel Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Chanukah. 3 questions. If on Pesach there are 4 questions, let's ask 3 questions for Chanukah from the Maharal of Prague, the great Rabbi Loew of Prague, about 400 years ago. First question is as follows. We say that we celebrate the Chanukah because of the menorah, because of the oil that was found that only lasted for 1 day, but it lasted for 8 days. That's what the Gemara says in Shabbos 21b. But the question is that true? Do we make holidays and celebrations and say Hallel and Thanksgiving for a mitzvah that we were able to perform? Let's say a miracle happened so I could put on my tefillin this morning. Do I need to forever thank God on this day because I was able to put on my tefillin? No, there's no law like that. There's a law that if there was a day on which I almost was killed or God forbid, something bad to happen to me, then I was saved from the terrible decree or the terrible death, God forbid, then on that day I need to give thanksgiving. So surely it must be the miracle of the victory against the Greeks. That must be the miracle for which we celebrate and commemorate Chanukah. So why do we talk about the oil? So he gives the famous answer. The famous answer is that it was not the oil so much. That's not so important. It's a very insignificant event, the oil. But rather, the oil was a sign from God that the military victory was a miracle. Now, it's very easy to look at a miraculous military victory and say it's no miracle at all. The 6-Day War, the 48 War, the 73 War, you can always say, it's not a miracle, it's just a good victory. But when you have a sign from God, that God is with us at that particular time, then that's a sign that military victory, which could be a natural cause, maybe had a strong general, it wasn't just natural, it was a miracle. Second question, why is it that the military victory took place at the hands of Kohanim, the great righteous Maccabees who were from priestly stock? They were children of Aaron. They were those who served in the temple. After all, they have no place at war. A Kohen is to have no contact with death. He can't even go to the funeral of his non-relatives. The high priest cannot even go to any funerals at all. And these people were going around killing people and involved in war? Why was this holiday in such a strange way taken over by Kohanim? Others should have stepped to the fore. He says, you have to understand, says the Maharal, this was a war against holiness. It was a war that said, just knowledge, information, wisdom, Greek wisdom, that's what's important in life. Nothing holy. There's nothing holy about ideas. So they were trying to defile that which was holy. So they needed someone holy to fight them. It had to come through these holy Kohanim who were engaged in the holy to fight against those whose dedication was Timu Kol Hashmanim. They were trying to defile everything holy. Then we have the third question. And that is, we often associate Chanukah with dedication to Torah study. Some say we give gelt, we give the money on Chanukah. Why? Because we want the children to study more. Chanukah is a good time to rededicate ourselves to the study of Torah. After all, the menorah represents the 7 branches of wisdom. We should dedicate ourselves to the idea of Torah. But the truth is, the real symbol of Torah in the holy sanctuary was not the menorah. That's true, 7 branches of wisdom, but the real Torah is in the Holy of Holies. So why don't we talk about the Holy of Holies where the Ark was on Chanukah? If Chanukah is the holiday of the celebration of Torah, Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, what's going on? So he says, actually, there are 8 days of Chanukah. 8 represents beyond this world. And where is there in this world that's beyond this world? Holy of Holies. And that's why we say that they went to Dvir Beitecha. They went to the Dvir. What's the Dvir? Holy of Holies. They went to the holiest place. They defiled even the holiest place. And we had to purify it. And that light, says the Maharal, the light comes from the Holy of Holies. The light comes from the Holy of Holies. The light on Chanukah, when we light our candles, it's not just a reminiscence of the menorah. It's not just a reminiscence of the temple in Jerusalem. It's actually a reminiscence of the holiest of holies, the Kodesh Kodashim, the Ark itself. And it sort of comes via the menorah into our Chanukah, into our Chanukah candles. We have a glimmer of the great holiness that once was. Sfas Emes, many Hasidic writers, later writers, wrote that somehow in Chanukah we're able to partake a little bit, even in Golus, even outside of Israel, even here in Memphis, Tennessee, to partake a little bit of the Holy of Holies, of the holiest aspect of Judaism. When we look at the Chanukah, we should try to absorb that holiness. We should try to remember that the Greeks tried to say that everything's sort of the same. You have the Talmud, you have a math book, you have a science book. It's all just information, things you study, nice ideas, very trivial, nice, cute. Torah says that there are certain things that are holy. There are other things that are holy of holies. The idea of Chanukah, to rededicate ourselves, not only to the mundane, not only to the holy, but to the holy of holies. Recognizing there's something, there's a realm beyond the physical. There's statues that the Greeks and the Romans like to make. There's more to a body than the form on the outside. There's a pnimius. Don't just look at the outside, the jug that you found, but look what's inside. The oil we found, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Neshama that's within us. That's what Chanukah is all about. Let us hope that this Chanukah, we can not only rededicate ourselves to Torah, but also understand that there's a world around us that doesn't appreciate that fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, a realm that's beyond touch. That legacy of the Jewish people, the Holy Neshama, the Spirit of God, the holiness of the Torah, the holiness of Eretz Yisrael, the holiness of the land of Israel, the Torah of Israel, the people of Israel. When we understand this, and when we look at those candles, we'll truly have learned something. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshe Sfard Bethel Emeth congregation here in Memphis, Tennessee, for our discussion of Chanukah. Join us each week for a discussion of the Parsha and various holidays. Thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. We wish everyone a Chag Urim Sameach, a happy Chanukah.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit ASBEE.org.